Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we're back with another exciting episode of Hearts of Iron 4 Canada. Sorry about the lack of video. I guess yesterday would have been the day that Hearts of Iron would have come out, and on Thursday there was no Stellaris. I was helping out at my sister's farm for the past few days, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. But I am glad to be back in the land of internet and my gaming computer. So, where we last left off, we had a decision to make. And I've been mulling it over. I've been reading through the comments. And we'll go over the two routes we could take. We could take the Canadian army up into Romania and put a line in and actually start fighting Germans and push through the Hungarians, maybe even linking up through southern Germany and Austria here with the United Kingdom and Italy. So that is a possibility. There's one big reason why I think, as fun as it would be to do something new, I'm not going to take the Romanian route, and that's these guys right here, is that if we go this far east, I highly doubt that the Royal Air Force, or really any Allied Air Force, is going to be able to get air superiority. I don't think the Romanians would have been able to push that much effort into building up an air force, and because all we have is close air support, I don't think, to be honest, I think our planes will get shot out of the ground and we'll lose air superiority right quick. Whereas over here in Italy, I'm fairly confident the Royal Air Force and probably what's remaining of the French Air Force have a lockdown on the air. I'm not sure if I can see Allied air missions, and it doesn't look like I can, but I think we'll have a better chance of survival if we push through Italy. Now, this is going to cause a slight difference of things. Well, not a slight difference. It's going to add one more little hitch to the plan, and that is we will definitely need military police units. So, if we take a look at our cavalry militia, they're all set up, they're ready to go, we can start training some of them. We won't need to train too many, just enough to keep a nice little guard over the area and make sure there's no uprisings. And the other thing we need to do, critically, is beef up our motorized divisions. As you can see, we've got a line of trucks and a single medium tank unit. That was fine for going up against the relatively small forces that were in North Africa. For pushing into Europe itself, we're probably going to want meatier units. So I'm going to go ahead. Whoa, not a tank destroyer. Just a tank. Just medium tanks and another row of mobilized infantry. Motorized infantry. Everybody's mobilized. Now, we can look to giving them some support. I wish I had researched hospitals so we could get those guys in, but we can add those in later. If we take a look at this, signal companies, they're just going to be boosting our hit points by 1. I don't necessarily think we need that. I do like the idea of some anti-air, just not on the tanks, because in my head, that's going to slow them down because they're pulling along towed anti-air guns. Although really, I guess, if we were to give them anti-tank or artillery, it would be the same thing, wouldn't it? What do we got? We've got 25, we've got 48 to spend. I want to blow it all on these guys. So I think we're going to add engineers, just because that seems like a good thing to add. And yes, we could add one more, but I'm going to leave it at that and trust that... What is this? Oh, hardness. I see. We're going to leave it at that and trust that the Royal Air Force is going to be able to help us out here. So let's save that design. Now, that will cause these guys to need a hell of a lot in resupply. In fact, as that's gone through, we can see we need metric butt ton more trucks. We need some more artillery. We need some, or tanks, metric butt ton more trucks. So it's going to take a while for us to produce all this stuff. That's the only thing. We are working on getting more military factories as time goes on. But I think for now, probably the best bet is just going to be to hang out in Africa for a bit. Let these units get their strength up a little bit more. And if I can, I'm going to want to train. Now, I can't deploy these guys overseas, can I? No. So we'll just get the RCMP to deploy to Nova Scotia, and we'll add, I don't know, 4 units. I don't necessarily think we're going to be throwing all 4 units over there. I mean, eventually we will, and we'll probably want more. But for now, that should keep us relatively safe with at least the island of Sicily, which I would like to have for ourselves. And I'm hoping that's going to be possible. In the meantime, while time is ticking on by, let's check on our bombers. How are you guys doing? 61. It feels like we may have lost some people there. Low manpower. Yeah, no kidding. One thing we can do, and one thing that I have had a request to check, is on how things are going. So let's take a look. So we can see that, what do we got here? War participation. On the Axis side, it's been mainly Germany, with a little help from Italy and a slight little bit from Hungary. Slovakia hasn't really done all that much. We can see towards capitulating. Italy's the closest at 15%. Hungary's at 9%. Slovakia and Germany are nowhere near. And we've got the amount of casualties. So the Germans have already taken 355,000 men in casualties. The Slovakians have lost 8,000. Italy has lost 658,000, which is crazy. Hungary's lost 144,000. So we take a look at the Allies side, and obviously our list is going to be much, much bigger. The United Kingdom has had a 48% participation, so just about half of everything that's been done for the Allies has been done by Britain. What do we got? They got 143 divisions, and they've taken 155,000 casualties. Poland, unfortunately, is obviously capitulated, and they took 139,000 casualties before they were able to capitulate. France has taken 212,000 casualties. British Raj has done 11% for the war, which isn't that bad at all, and they've only taken 19,000 casualties. That's not bad. Compare that to South Africa, of course, with 1% war participation and get 26,000 casualties. Fighting in Africa sucks. Canada, ourselves, we've done 11% of the war goal, or 11% of the war effort has been achieved by us with our measly 32 divisions, 4 of which are at home, and we've only taken 3,000 casualties. That's not bad at all, until you consider what's going on with our manpower. But you know, that's pretty good. Comparatively, we're doing great. We're doing absolutely wonderful. Can we sort this by war goal or war participation? So we've done the same as the British Raj. We've done a little less than Belgium. And remember, Belgium's still in the fight. So this is why they've taken 208,000 casualties. If we go take a look at that, they're still here. They're still fighting. Barely hanging on, with help now from the Australians. So thanks for showing up, guys. That is huge, because Canada's not going to help. And I think we got some South Africans down here too, and some American volunteer units. My word. Belgium's a tough cookie, but I'm not going to send the Canadians to die over there. So that is really not bad. I honestly expected to have taken more than 3,000 casualties. That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Now, when it comes to naval landings, let me just check my technology, because this may get tricky. I have a feeling this is going to get tricky. So if we were to take all of these guys and say, let's do a naval invasion. If you draw an order with this tool, any other standing orders that the group has will be removed. That's fine. So we're going to go from Alexandria to I think we'll just go straight for the port here. Like that. Now, no divisions, no transports, because I don't think we can have tanks, and I think we're limited to 10 infantry units right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we can add those guys, let's just see. Assign. Control click to assign selected units to the order. There we go. So we're going to have to obviously get transports in before we can go through with that push. And that is a bit of a trip. It might be better actually to launch the invasion from maybe Tripoli. I don't know. Let's see here. That's a base 8. Come on. Give me the port. That's a base 10. Well, obviously, launching from the base 10 is going to be better. Or, yeah, I think launching from the base. Can we do it for Malta? Let's figure out this wartime election first. Canada is in a state of war. Normally, an election would be held at this time, but being in the midst of an important conflict, many argue that cannot afford to spend time on political campaigning or a change in leadership if that should come about. Meanwhile, others claim that declaring the ongoing war a valid reason for skipping elections is the first step towards eroding Canadian democracy. After all, letting military matters take precedent over the people's influence could be a slippery slope. Elections will be held as usual. I think it might be better if we do this invasion from Malta. So let's scrap this plan. Alright? And let's take the entire Canadian Corps and send them over to Malta. So they should get on some boats. And this is one thing that is absolutely amazing in Hearts of Iron 4 compared to previous versions of the game, is shifting units via sea and doing naval invasions. Oh my god. So much easier. I'm a huge fan of something like that. So let's see, what do we want to do? Do we want to get maybe another extra research slot? Maybe some secret weapons? Maybe go down the Liberty ethos? That seems like a good idea, huh? We can get for... Well, I mean, really, interventionism focus isn't really all that necessary, but getting down to why we fight and into technology sharing, ideological fanaticism, so we'd have to go... I don't know, it's one or the other, right? Okay, good. Well, what does neutrality focus get us? Join factions, guarantee intention... So, I mean, at this stage, it doesn't really matter. This will just get us political power. And this will just make it easier for us to send volunteer forces, which we're not going to do. Any forces we send, we're keeping control of. So, well, on, like, well, let's say RP perspective, would say interventionism focus makes more sense because obviously we're interventioning into things. But again, volunteer corps. Yeah, we don't need volunteer corps. So let's just go with Liberty Ethos for now. And then probably... Oh, Japan has declared war on the Netherlands. That should bring them in, which is good. Now, they were justifying against us. I guess that was with the Netherlands. And now the Soviet Union is going against Romania, who happens to be an ally as well. Interesting play by the Soviets. Fighting the Germans and eventually the Allies as well? I don't know about that, Stalin. Are you fighting? Or maybe you're not fighting the Germans. I don't know, you must be. Anyway, Belgium has capitulated and the Netherlands will follow very soon after. But they held on for longer than France did. There's something to be said about that. Now, are you guys just kicking it back here? Because, yeah, you must be, right? Just because we don't have enough transports to move you all. So hopefully what we'll do is we'll get all of you guys into Alexandria. And then once our first round of forces land, we can look to, where did I wind up leaving my planes? Close air support, where are you guys? Malta. Oh, you're in Malta. Oh, perfect. Okay. Lovely. Well then, we are going to want you to go, actually, I guess, close air support into Italy and do your close air support thing. Now, thankfully, now that we're flying flights over there, we can see where the forces are, and we can come up with a good plan of where to land. And honestly, I think here might be the best bet. If we land next to this port, we can push up here, cut the island in twain, move into Palermo, and this port here, and secure that section relatively easily. That is a lot of bombers, UK. A lot of bombers. What do we want? What do we want to research? There were some things. It's almost 1940. Maybe getting mechanized units up would be a good idea. Maybe some field hospitals. I think we're going to go with field hospitals. That'll be a good thing to add to our motorized units, and we can just get away with it. So that is lovely. Tanks! Get sailing. So yeah, I think if we push across here, that should be pretty good. We've finished our research into Marines, which is lovely. Now, a lot of you guys were also saying paratroopers, and I'm not against this idea. It's just at the moment, with the way our industry is going, we're not really in a good position to start production of paratroopers and the transport planes that they need to use. I don't know why that was so hard for me to think of. What do we got? We're researching the upgraded medium tank. That's lovely. I guess, I don't know if we need rocket artillery, but maybe improved anti-tank guns might not be a bad idea. Of course, it's probably a good idea to just figure out better ways to run invasions and, you know, do all that technical troop thing. Yeah, technical troop thing. Now, one other section of Italy that we do have to focus on is Albania, of course. But I think securing Sicily so we can just walk across would be great. So while our units get over there, let's check on things back home, shall we? The US are lining up on the border. That's not a concern whatsoever because you can see they are almost 100% democratic. So chances are they won't be invading us, which is good. Yay, thank you, America, for not attacking. And if we check the Atlantic Squadron, we are up to... what do we got? What do we got here? 21 destroyers. Mostly the Audible Mark I classes, and 2 of the older ones. But I don't think this is much of a concern for us. Oh dear. Okay, so we've hit some issues. We're out of manpower, and that's not good. We are also running low on supplies, probably because we've got a metric butt ton of people on Malta. So that's a bit of a concern, I would bet. And because it's not our land, we can't really beef up the shipyard. So what I'm going to do is I am going to send my tanks over to Tunisia. Are you guys gonna go? Do we need to split you up into smaller groups here? Well, you can't go there. Can you go back to Alexandria? You can. So why can't we enter France? Are you guys not an ally? Huh. Oh, wait a second. I got an idea here. Hold on. Let's go to a port. There we go. That's better. Cancel all movement and everybody go to the French port. So this should ease up on our supply issues, but I unfortunately think we may still have to... Cannot deploy. You know what? 21 destroyers, we're good for now. And our shipyards, what we can build here are convoys. Convoys would be good, and I don't think they take much, if any, manpower. So we'll leave that like that. But I do think, sadly, we're going to have to change from limited conscription to extensive conscription. I don't like that, but to actually get this fight working properly, I think we'll have to do that. And the one last thing I want to check here is if we switch these guys... Is there a way to switch them to reserves, or did they automatically deploy? Like, if we take you, can we make you a reserve unit? Because I'd like to think that my units could use a bit of reserve. Although maybe all this exercising, I mean, it is cutting into the attrition. So maybe we should stop the exercising. They've got a bit of a uppage in training there, I guess. But yeah, I think we'll need to do something about this. We'll see. We'll see. How's our bombers doing? 60. We don't have the manpower to deploy them, though, do we? No. Yeah, with the next political power change, we will have to... Let's just assign you guys there. Don't bomb anything. Just go on standby for now. You guys have done some seriously good work, I'm imagining. So we'll let them rest for a bit. Medium tank 2 is done. Let's go over here. We could probably use with some more encryption and decryption. That would be a pretty darn good idea. Oh yeah, let's switch production over to here. Medium tank 2. We probably should start a line of medium 2 tank destroyers. We'll have to research those guys first, but we'll get there when we need to. Tanks are nicely there. Our infantry is sitting here waiting and ready to go. And I think we should be relatively ready. Can we just add? No, we do just need 10. Okay. So, let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we will add you guys to that. Then we can get that planning. It's going to take about 70 days to come up with an invasion plan into Sicily, which should give us more than enough time to continually put off things we need to do till later. But I think this is going to be a good idea. I don't know, we'll find out, right? And yeah, getting the RCMP up, that is cutting into our manpower a bit more than I thought it would. Like I said, we probably don't need 4. Although it's good to have them in case we make some gains in southern Italy as well, which is entirely possible. The Soviet Union has declared war on Romania. So we're now at war with the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. I'm very glad we didn't deploy to Romania. The Soviets would destroy our army. Absolutely destroy them. So we made the right choice here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the Mongolians have been called in. Well, that's the end of the war. GG, world. The Soviets win. And Tanutavu. Yeah, it's done. It really is... It's weird to be fighting both of those guys. And for the Soviets to not be fighting the Germans at all. Oh, I do feel bad for Romania. And, I mean, if things go really badly here, which I imagine they will, it's 1940, the Soviets should have quite a decent military set up and ready to go. I hope we don't lose a lot of Eastern Europe. Look at all the red over here. Who is that, anyway? Some Russians, I'm guessing? No, it can't be. Those are Hungarians and Nazis and others. But yeah, that's interesting. I was not expecting the Soviets to join in. Basically on the German side. And are we actually having an election? I guess we did, and Mackenzie King won? Alright. So yeah, with our initial push of infantry, we'll land here, cut off Palmero, and once we gain a port, we can roll our tanks in, and then hopefully, I'm pretty sure we can roll tanks across the strait without needing it to be a port. I don't see why that would be any different from any other Paradox game, so hopefully we'll be clear there. And things seem to be going okay in northern Italy, but certainly not as successful as things were, you know, moments ago when we were considering whether we would go Sicily or Romania. I can't believe that. Look at the amount of Soviet Air Force that's in there. And yeah, you can see the little Romanian Air Force, they're doing their best, but I don't think they could have kept the Germans off of us. I don't think they can keep Soviet bombers off of them. That's a done deal. So one wonders, if we were to take a look at, say, a nation like Turkey, who's not really a fan of us and we're not really a fan of them, that's only because they're not aligned. I wonder if we started to use our diplomatic power to pull them closer to us, would that be a better thing? Who knows? Let's see. So neutrality focus, what do you get us? More political power. More political power. And can send volunteer forces. That increases the volunteer forces' size. This is land fort, coastal fort, anti-air, and military factory construction speed. I think we're going to go neutrality focus on into why we fight. Which gains national unity of 10%, which will bring us to 100? Are you kidding me? Canada, you're OP. Words no one will ever say. Japan is called Hungary as our enemy in German-Polish War. The Japanese-Dutch and the German-Polish wars have merged. So it is just one big war now. Well, it's two big wars for the Allies because we're also fighting the Soviets. 34 days out of 70. We're almost halfway there. And I wonder, while we're doing this, can we take you guys and land you there? Because this is being held by Britain. Any land we capture, as long as we stick close to Britain, or as long as we start in British lands, should go to them. And I'm okay with that. But since no other allied units are here, UK has called Finland into our war with Germany. Yay, Finland's an ally. Okay, what do we got going on here? You want to send some volunteers? You can. Let's get our tanks rolling, which are slowly coming up in strength, but we're probably still missing a hell of a lot of equipment, in all honesty. And that is going to the UK? Perfect. So theoretically, we could do something like that. I don't know why the forces that were here kind of just didn't do anything, but like, they took those 2 spots and then left. They should have finished off the whole island. Like I say, I don't want to do this, but I feel like we have to move up into extensive conscription. It takes a little longer for training time, but we need the manpower. And look at that. Now we're fine for pretty much the rest of the war. At least it feels like that in my head. Why is one unit slower than the rest? I don't know. Reasons beyond my understanding. Maybe it's a supply thing. It could be a supply thing. Anyway, with our armored core doing great work and recapturing Sardinia here for France. So it's all gone back to France. There you go. We remember both of our parents colonially. If you get what I mean, you get what I mean. If you re-Poland ball, you know what I mean. Grand Assault, which sounds far more impressive than it should be. I think we'll be going down the mechanized offensive route here, but we can hold off on that for a little while. I guess we should pick another research, though, shouldn't we? We could probably do to get this working. We kinda left production off on its own there. Yay! Do I have control of them? No. Well, come on over to Europe. It's a shame you guys had to come all the way, you know, from America up into Montreal to then just hop on a boat and go to Europe, when really you could have just hopped on a boat in America and gone to Europe. That would have been fine. Looks like we attempted a very small landing here around Calais, and it is not going well for the forces that are there. The 2nd Colonial Garrison, the 17th Infantry Type 4. So we can see the Brits are definitely moving through different infantry unit types, which is probably a good idea to do. Romania has capitulated. That did not take long. Yeah. Yeah. That's concerning. How quickly the Soviets ate Romania there. So, you know, we got some troubles. We got some problems. Although as long as places like Bulgaria and Yugoslavia stay unaligned, in my head, chances are less that the Soviets will push into them. But let's be honest, the Soviet juggernaut can pretty much go where it wants. Without America on our side to help us fight the Soviets, I don't know if we'll be able to fight the Soviets and the Axis at the same time. We can see the offensive in Italy is falling apart. Now that there isn't the distraction in France, this is kind of it. Oh! Germany has declared war on Sweden. That's scary. Well, and now this is... So, Germany attacked Sweden, which brought them into the Allies, which then brought them into a war with the Soviets. That is bad luck. Poor Sweden's gonna get split between the two giants. We're 5 days away, and I'm probably gonna leave this episode off before we launch that invasion. I know this has been kind of a dull episode, but next time we'll be pushing in to Sicily. Can we hold it? I doubt it. But we're going to certainly try. Let's get ourselves some more military factories going, because we could certainly use them. Yeah, oh boy, could we use them. We need 21 bombers. Are we taking losses still? It looks like we are. But they shouldn't be flying or anything, right? So, we don't have any planes that can be... Oh, because our reserves are going into... I gotcha, okay. Yes, yes, I'm following along now. What else is going on? Air wings with no missions. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's intentional. And are we ready to go? I think we're ready to go. So on that note, I'm going to stretch, and we'll see you guys next time. I'm going to record that episode right away. Well, I might render this and get it uploading and then get that second episode going. So, thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.